Greetings, Taurus and Taurus rising. This is your Western forecast for April 2024. There are three major planetary events, and these energies could shift you down a new path. It could shake up and change your life for the better, but you have to be able to be open to grab the opportunities. We're going to have a new moon solar eclipse on April the 8th. Mercury, decision-making communication Mercury, will be retrograde from April the 1st till April the 25th. That Mercury retrograde could be a time of revising, re-editing, rethinking before moving into this solar eclipse, which is always trying to bring in some important new beginnings. But the big one is Jupiter and Uranus will be aligning in the sign of Taurus. This is incredibly good news for Taurus suns, Taurus risings. Jupiter is the planet of luck, expansion, prosperity. Uranus is the planetary energies of innovation, liberation, progress. When Jupiter and Uranus align, it's about once every 13 to 14 years, and it could bring unexpected, that's the Uranus, opportunities for growth, liberation, breakthroughs, and it's in your sign. That could even be being discovered overnight, success that you might have been working on for 18 years. So before I break down these three really important energies that could make a real impact in your life, the solar eclipse, Mercury in retrograde, the Jupiter-Uranus alignment. But before I break all this down, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find a link to sign up for my free daily message or inquire about booking an astrology reading. All right, let's start with the new moon in the new moon solar eclipse. It's in Aries. Aries is the sign prior to Taurus. It's the shadow sector. And so there's a major emphasis on that 12th house sector. This could be a potent time over especially the next 6 months for releasing old patterns. It's a time also to really set your intention with the eclipse on personal growth. The 12th house can also put a spotlight on your spiritual practices, personal growth, but in a more general way, especially with the Jupiter-Uranus coming up here, there's going to put a real emphasis on doing a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of development, a lot of studying, a lot of researching. That takes me to the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in your sign or on your rising sign. So this can bring unexpected advancements with breakthroughs, leadership, visibilities. This can be an example of becoming famous overnight, no matter how many years it took to get here, or finally getting this unexpected recognition and at work in your career. This would be an ideal time for many of you to take the lead, become the big boss, or to launch your own business. And Taurus is so into stability and security, so maybe you would start off, especially with that solar eclipse in the 12th house, is keeping your job, but starting to work on your own business on the side. And that takes me with the solar eclipse in your 12th of the shadow of work behind the scenes, as that will be strong for at least the next 6 months, even up to a year. So you could either in April the 20th, around April the 20th, when that Jupiter-Uranus, that you could have this aha moment, this insight where now you want to shift your whole life direction, launch your own business, but there is all that behind the scenes work that still needs to be developed. Now, Mercury in retrograde in Aries. It went into Aries at the end of March. Mercury is all that communications, decision-making, planning. Went into Aries, or went retrograde, April the 1st to April the 25th. At April the 25th, the Mercury now goes direct, but remains in Aries until May the 15th. The Mercury in Aries is in your shadow sector. It's in the sign prior to Taurus. So there's a lot of this planning, thinking, preparing behind the scenes. That's the shadow sector. But with the retrograde, you're not sure, you're not decisive, you're not focused. This could be with all this opportunities coming in. The Mercury in retrograde could very well be that you have to revise and rethink all of your plans, become something all new and exciting has come in. So with the solar eclipse in the 12th and Mercury retrograde for the first 25 days in the 12th, how this can play out in useful ways, productive ways, is doing a lot of studying and researching and investigation to support this major exciting new opportunity that wants to come in. And with Jupiter and Uranus in your sign, it's a real focus on your personal identity, your whole your visibility, your sense of confidence and leadership. This is going to be one of the most exciting opportunities. Now, Taurus can go slow, which can be a good thing. But this Jupiter-Uranus is going to bring in some exciting, unexpected opportunities that could be out of the blue. And with the Taurus, you being a Taurus or Taurus rising, you don't want to sleep on it. You got to really think about it. And that's the Mercury in retrograde, where you're saying to yourself, well, these were my goals and my expectations. Now this opportunity could take me to a due path. And so with the retrograde, you're going back over and over and over and rethinking it, but at least keep engaging in these new possibilities. The other positive with that solar eclipse in the shadow sector, which is also where we look to for what's hidden and unconscious in our lives, it could be really ideal for beginning to release old patterns. And that could be the Mercury in retrograde, is looking at these old patterns and changing your mind and rethinking where you want to go. So the release of the old will really help the Jupiter-Uranus bring in this exciting new direction. Now, this is part of the forecast where I like to examine how all these energies could be impacting your physical body, your relationships, your business. Now, with the physical body, and the sun is in Aries the first 19 days. So the sun is putting a spotlight on the shadow sector. That's often a time of feeling tired, wanting to retreat, wanting to keeping a lower profile. But when the sun goes into Taurus on April the 19th, and the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, if we want to be technical about it, it's exact on April the 20th. So something around the 19th to 20th, your energy is going to really be amped up. So if you've just been stagnant and worried and waiting and bored, and then a huge opportunities comes in, that would send an adrenaline rush through your body, where now you're really so much more motivated and excited, and triggering all this robust, vital energy by that third week of April. Venus, when we're talking about relationships, Venus is the ruler of Taurus. Venus is the planet of love and union and desire and cooperation. Venus will be in Aries April the 4th till April the 29th. But being in Aries, it's still in the shadow sector. Now, that could bring in some cases, having an unrequited attraction, or having a relationship that you're keeping more private, or you're just wanting a lower profile when it comes to socializing. But on April the 29th, loving Venus goes into Taurus into May. And that could be when the whole social romantic energy starts to open up, especially as the full moon is in Scorpio, April the 23rd. So the 23rd, 24th, 25th, the full moon brings a lot of emotions to a head, a time of culmination, bringing things out into the light. And the full moon in Scorpio is opposite Taurus. Opposite deals with a significant other. So the full moon is bringing a real spotlight to your 7th house of relationships. Now, it can be contract offers in business. Certainly, it can be your significant other, or putting a real spotlight on an opportunity for a new relationship. And the Venus goes into Taurus on the 29th. So this very end of April could be really favorable for initiating new relationships, or bringing more romance back into an existing relationships, or finally starting to be more social. Now, talking about the social, Mars and Saturn are transiting Pisces in your 11th house of your social networking, friendships, group activities, because it's in Pisces. And Pisces is 11 signs past Taurus, or Taurus rising. And the 11th sector deals with friendships and networking and group activities. But with Mars aligned with Saturn, Mars-Saturn can accomplish a lot of work, being really focused, but it's in the 11th house. And when it comes to socializing with friends, that's the 11th house, you might be feeling really frustrated, or you're too busy, which would go along with the Venus in the 12th house of keeping a lower profile, or being more private. I think you're going to be too busy to have the social life as being an important agenda. So with the eclipse in your 12th house, it's putting a spotlight where you're going to need, with the Jupiter-Uranus, to to develop and learn and research to how to get the best out of this exciting new opportunity of Jupiter-Uranus. And the Sun, as it goes into Taurus on the 19th of April, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is on the 20th of April. This is where that last week or so of April, socially, yes, but career, financially, everything is really opening up. Wait until actually after April the 25th, because even all that 19th to 20th, the energy is really starting to bubble up in very exciting, unexpected ways. Mercury's still retrograde until the 25th. Now, you don't want to make really significant decisions on these opportunities on the 25th, as Mercury is now going direct, because as it goes direct, it's hardly moving at all. It was slowly going backwards in optical illusion. So by the 24th to the 24th to the 25th of April, it slowed down to a standstill. It's what we call stationary. So then at the 25th, through that next week, the Mercury is slowly trying to catch up to its regular speed. So think of Mercury is the mind, and you'll be intensely focused on your decisions and thinking when it slows down and stops, it goes direct. But your mind is still going to be slower or more sluggish or not have the confidence, because everything is happening so fast with Jupiter and Uranus. Uranus is that out of the blue, off to the races. Jupiter is all this optimistic, lucky energies, but you're a Taurus or a Taurus rising. And you like things steady, calm, predictable. There's such a rush of opportunity, it's going to really make you anxious. And that's also the Mercury in retrograde, the first 25 days, is you'll be thinking to yourself, I don't know what to do. I got to really think about this. I got to sleep on it. But don't let these opportunities pass you by, certainly by grabbing and committing to them by the end, especially after the 25th, that last week of April, because this, for many of you, this is the big break you've been waiting for. But because the solar eclipse is in the 12th house, it is a big break. But you have to do all the studying, research, and development to build the infrastructure to be, as the example would be, you have an opportunity with yourself or with some friends, partnerships, to launch a new business. But you got to build the business. You got to learn all about the business. So there's this great opportunity to advance your life, but you have to build the foundation to support it. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to sign up for my 2-question offer, just visit my website at gardino.go. Until next month, be safe and well.